As tensions in the Pacific grew during the 1930s, the United States faced the significant challenge of defending its interests in the region, particularly in the Philippines. This set the stage for General Douglas MacArthur's strategic decisions, which would have far-reaching consequences during World War II. At the heart of America's defense strategy was War Plan Orange, a comprehensive military plan designed to protect U.S. interests against a potential Japanese threat. War Plan Orange, the original strategy. War Plan Orange, developed in the early 1900s and refined over the years, envisioned a defensive stance that relied heavily on naval power. This plan was built around a series of assumptions and expectations reflecting the geopolitical realities of the time. The United States anticipated that a conflict with Japan would be inevitable due to competing interests in the Pacific and Asia. The plan called for a strategic retreat to the Bataan Peninsula in the event of a Japanese invasion, allowing U.S. and Filipino forces to hold out against the enemy until the arrival of reinforcements. The strategy relied on the natural defensive advantages of the Bataan Peninsula and the island fortress of Corregidor, which guarded the entrance to Manila Bay. War Plan Orange emphasized the importance of delaying Japanese advances through naval engagements, leveraging the U.S. Navy's strength to disrupt enemy supply lines and slow their momentum. The ultimate goal was to buy time for American forces to regroup and launch a counteroffensive. In 1935, General Douglas MacArthur was appointed as the military advisor to the Commonwealth of the Philippines. Tasked with preparing the islands for independence and potential conflict, MacArthur was a charismatic and ambitious leader with a vision for a new defense strategy. He believed in the potential of the Philippines to play a pivotal role in America's defense of the Pacific. MacArthur was a seasoned military leader, having served with distinction in World War I. His reputation as a brilliant tactician and charismatic leader preceded him, and he quickly became a prominent figure in the Philippines. MacArthur saw the islands not just as a defensive outpost, but as a critical component of America's strategic plans in the Pacific. MacArthur's views were at odds with War Plan Orange. He saw it as overly passive and even defeatist, viewing the idea of retreating to Bataan and waiting for help as contrary to his sense of military strategy and personal pride. To him, the plan symbolized a lack of confidence and a willingness to concede territory to the enemy. Building a proactive defense was at the heart of MacArthur's strategy. He focused on building a formidable Filipino army and strengthening air power on the islands. MacArthur believed the natural defenses of the Philippines, its surrounding waters, rugged mountains, and dense jungles provided a unique advantage. The goal was to create a defense that could repel any Japanese invasion at the beaches. In pursuit of this vision, MacArthur worked tirelessly to train the Filipino forces, aiming to transform them into a capable fighting force. He advocated for conscription and expanded military training programs, focusing on developing a sense of national pride and unity among the troops. Despite facing challenges such as limited resources and outdated equipment, MacArthur remained determined to build a robust defense. MacArthur also placed significant emphasis on air power, viewing it as a crucial element of his strategy. He pushed for the deployment of more aircraft, including B-17 bombers, believing that air superiority could disrupt Japanese operations and protect critical infrastructure. The presence of a strong air force, he argued, would allow for preemptive strikes on enemy positions, preventing them from gaining a foothold on the islands. As 1941 progressed, the situation in the Pacific grew increasingly tense. While MacArthur's preparations continued, the threat of war loomed large. Critics began to question whether his strategy could withstand the might of the Japanese military. The reliance on an untested army and incomplete air defenses posed significant risks. MacArthur's focus on air power and beach defenses was a double-edged sword. While it offered a chance to strike early and hard, it also meant that any failure in those areas could be catastrophic. The Filipino army, though improving, was still undertrained and ill-equipped compared to their Japanese counterparts. The rapid escalation of tensions in the Pacific meant time was running out to prepare adequately. Moreover, MacArthur's confidence in his strategy led to some critical oversights. He underestimated the logistical challenges of defending an archipelago like the Philippines with its numerous islands and complex terrain. The lack of sufficient infrastructure, such as roads and communication networks, hindered the coordination and movement of troops. Despite these challenges, MacArthur's leadership inspired hope and determination among the Filipino and American forces. His charismatic presence and unwavering belief in their abilities fostered a sense of unity and resilience. However, as the prospect of war became inevitable, the true test of MacArthur's strategy was about to unfold. As the world stood on the brink of war, MacArthur's decisions in the Philippines set the stage for a dramatic and fateful confrontation. His confidence and vision would soon face the ultimate test as events unfolded in December 1941. Would his strategies be enough to hold back the Japanese tide, or would the weaknesses in his approach prove costly? Follow us for the next part.